So we've seen quite some examples in the Bible and how that God made us complete. And literally, we could actually translate that into perfect in the sense of spirituality and in the sense of our discussion today. We are complete. And that doesn't mean that we cannot make mistake. And that's where the issue comes in. So let's take a look at a typical man that God has created. And God said it was good. It was complete. Let's take his skin, for example. It's complete. The skin was perfect when he was born. But then as he's walking down the road at the age of 12, he fell down, scratched the skin, and it began to bleed. Does that mean it's no longer perfect? Well, maybe it doesn't look as smooth as it was, but the fact that God made it so complete that it can repair itself, the skin can repair itself, it can build itself, it can correct itself, that is an evidence that inside what God has made is actually a perfection that keeps it whole all the time. And so you are whole all the time. Somebody may have a headache or maybe sick for some time and then suddenly goes back to normal again, which means that it's restored back to that original state of completion that it was. I think that is a wonderful thing that God really did. So the ability to repair yourself and to translate that into spirituality, we could say that the ability to correct your mistake is an evidence that the work of God in you is perfect. That is, God really perfected it. So if I make mistakes and I can correct that mistake, then I'm still perfect. That's actually where my perfection lies. But if I am not able to correct that mistake, then I'm not living out that perfection that God has given unto me. And so that drives us into the next questions. That what role are we to play? Well, I just talked about it. I just added it to the converse tonight. The role we have to play is to live it out. In other words, somebody offended you and now you are so angry. Now that has shifted you from a perfect state that God put you where you had your peace, your joy, your everything. Because of what that person did, you shifted from perfection. Say momentarily, but then because in you is the ability to fix that. So you can go back to that person and say, oh, well, you offended me yesterday, but guess what? I just feel like hugging you. Forgive me. I forgive you. No worries at all. It doesn't matter. And you make peace with that person. Notice that you just restore that perfect state again. You can sleep without worry. You can eat without worry. You can think without worry. You see God's perfection. It's kind of dynamic in a way. It's inbuilt. But the problem is when you don't make that correction, when you allow something else to stop you from making that correction, then you are not playing your part. That's the part you have to play. You are not playing your part, either because of pride or because of arrogance or something or the other, or unforgiveness or whatsoever. But so long as you can come back, you are restored. And that's really, really a great thing that we believe God has done. So we take our stand with the word of God. I really love that passage that was read, that in all this stand, that you may be able to revile every plan of the enemy concerning. Say, having done all, stand on the word, take stand for the Lord, take stand for the commandments of the Lord, have faith in him, continue to trust in him, act on his word. If his word says go make peace, go make peace. Like you often hear me say, anytime there's an issue between two people, the first person to make peace is the better Christian. There's no doubt about that. So let's always keep this in mind and remember that, it's the will of God, that we let God have his way in our lives. And each time we do that, we are restored back into that state that God, left us when he just created us.
We trust you've been truly blessed. Follow us on our social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Possibility Assembly TV. You can fellowship with us at London, United Kingdom, Sunday's worship service, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Doctrine Settlement, 400 Salter Road, Rotherhithe, London, SE 16588. Join us online on Wednesday prayer service, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Friday's Bible study, 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Daily wake up, 6 a.m. to 6:15 a.m. God bless you.